White of the New Music traveled to her hometown of Vancouver to interview the guys of Skinny Puppy.
When Network Productions released the first Skinny Puppy album, for some it must have seemed like tales from the dark side, which in a way is what Skinny Puppy is all about. Through their music, they do a kind of reality therapy, an instant feedback about the world around us without being nice. In their electronic purging, it was their express intent to reveal the hidden and the inhumane, which saw them tackle issues like animal vivisection and environmental pollution. But don't get them wrong, even though they like to point out the negative, the perennial players in Skinny Puppy are unquestionably big fans of life. They say familiarity breeds contempt, and it seems to me in Skinny Puppy that there's a certain amount of contempt that actually works for this band.
Yeah, well, it's been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, we've never really been, you know, a close, you know, hug them, pat them, and knock them on the butt, sort of. You know, kind of working environments. So I think it's always been this way. It's gotten, you know, to certain levels of extreme intensity, and it's kind of mellowed down. Kind of, you know.
Where is it right now?
Right now, I don't know. I kind of talked to Kevin for the first time today in a long time, so kind of appropriately so.
I always look at, we have like a playground relationship where, you know, I look back to when I was a kid and remember the type of relationships I had with some of my best friends, and they'd last a long time, and they have everything involved in them, from, you know, some form of hatred to some form of love. But yet they're long-lasting, and you do a lot of things out of it. And this is the way, you know, this project has always been to me, where we're like a bunch of small kids that, in a playground where we have our petty fights and we have our good times and we have everything, but yet we have endured this long. So obviously there's something very good about it.
There's got to be some reason that we all keep on getting together every year to do it. I mean, this is our 8th album, or 8th year consecutive in a row that we've actually recorded during the same time period each year. And so it's sort of more like a customary gathering than an actual band at times. But
yeah, it's on a yearly cycle, and it seems like it's either we're going on tour one year. I call out so much when I get in front of the camera.
Dwayne speaks his...
Dwayne, more push-ups.
Dwayne, play with your hair or something.
Yeah, that's what I have to do.
Industrial music is not the kind of music that you think of when you think of Vancouver. You think of guitars and, you know, vibes and stuff like that, and harmony and other, you know, good basic rock and roll. And here's Skinny Puppy is an example of that art community, and that community that goes out and explores the underbelly and the roadkill and all that kind of stuff. And you don't think of that as Vancouver, but there is that element there.
And then we reflect on a lot of, I think, issues that, you know, you can personify to yourself in a way. Like if you're talking about pollution of the earth, well, I would write something about pollution of the earth by personifying the pollution of my own body with certain vagrant toxins, you know, and things like that. And then you can get across something that has meaning and can generally affect people more than just these issues and statistics coming across. But we don't celebrate violence. We're not violent people at all. Far the opposite.
They dragged me down here. I didn't want to come. I didn't want to. The bright lights are too much.
Yeah, they made me do push-ups to get my color out.
Still no luck. Still no words.
I think the greatest thing about this music was when we first started doing it, and I started writing lyrics that were like reflecting my mood at the time. The amount of people that came out of the woodwork that were just attracted to it by the fact that somebody else thinks that way, you know, as opposed to feeling like they're just shut away from the world and not part of the system and not part of the positive thinking ideals that we all are supposed to go through life with. And we're not supposed to be down. We're not supposed to think this way. We're not supposed to ever think that way. You're really bad, you know. And I think that's the most gratifying thing about choosing this path and trying to, like, you know, continually work on the lyrics and things like that. It's just the amount of people that are just glad and happy that there's somebody else out there like them, you know.
We wouldn't attempt Skinny Puppy without myself, Dwayne, David Ogilvy, and Kevin Ogilvy together in the studio. So you know, it really hasn't changed its format as far as like what we are setting out to do, because we're in actuality all eager to see the results of the project.
You worked with Dermot Shane in some of your early videos, some of which weren't seen because they were deemed unsuitable for air.
Yeah, for ridiculous reasons.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
You know, I think it's funny. I mean, ultimately they put the stamp of approval on a product when they judge it, you know, unviewable. It's like everybody wants to see it. You know? First video was supposed to have we had in the background of Dig It, which is one of the lyrics is it's something about an economic slave, basically, and
Economic slavery, right?
So we had in the background footage of the stock market going. It was all ADO'd, and then it was all like warped out, and they thought it was pornography. And frame by frame, so yep, there's a penis, there's a you know, there's intercourse, yep. It's the same with the new video that they have. There's a priest that, I mean, I intended to have him dressed with a phallic cross and his hands off on the cross and being, you know, having no hands. And when he explodes, they judged it to be an ejaculation. So it's like, you know, that's sick, man. I'm not sick. I honestly didn't even think of that at the time. You know, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, okay, that's great.
When you hear a sound, you go, yeah, that's how I feel, and it just sounded so horrible. You were saying if you were worried, you know, confusing people in that you were just expressing sheer anger or, you know, destroyed decades. I mean, it is for the celebration of life, the great things that there are in life, to go out there that we cry and take things from the world and put them into the music and show you what it is that we found in the world, because it is so special. It is. Sometimes I get to the end of my set.